Hey, good morning. Bobby Dagger here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Bad boys and bad girls, thanks for coming back. Um, Man, I went to a funny show the other night. I went to a Grateful Dead cover band show. It was a big show at Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Big, beautiful hall. It was like very popular band. I don't know them, Dark Star Orchestra. I went out with a friend. It was a beautiful drive. I'll drive anywhere, and to go to a show was really fun. So going out to this show, and I'm going to this experience, and I haven't been to a Grateful Dead show since the '70s when I used to go every once in a while. Never a Deadhead. I liked the music. I liked the history of them. I liked the Pigpen era, the early era. So if anybody knows them, it's what I'm talking about. I like that. I was a big Allman Brothers fan, and I liked that Dwayne loved Jerry in the band, and even incorporated two drummers in the Allman Brothers band. So I liked, and then started doing the long blues jams. Now I would have really loved to have been to one of those concerts where I could latch on to, but here I am. I'm at the concert, and we get there early. And on the way out there, she's telling me, "Oh, you're going to meet all my friends. I met this person in Jamaica at a show, and I met this person in Cleveland. They just travel all wherever they go, as if it's a Dead show, a real Dead show, and it's really fascinating. It was really fun. So I get there. It's interesting. The crowd, it's all my age. I'm 69, a little bit younger, a little bit older, but all in my bracket. And I'm just noticing it's like how big and old we've all gotten. And the women are still dressed as sexy as they can be from being teenagers, and the guys still wearing their tie-dye shirts and all that. Um, it was like being around. It was 50 years later. It was really fun. 50 years later, same people doing the same thing. It was just so great to be a part of this because I'm not a part of it. I'm not a traveler. I'm not a deadhead. I just love music. But it was interesting to be around a group of people that truly, truly do like each other, and they're excited to see each other, even if it's just at shows. Because I'd hear it's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you since Birmingham 1987 or whatever." And they say, "Oh, yeah, that was a great show. Hey, did you go to this show?" Uh, it was just fun. And then they know, and it's a cover band. None of these people were in the original band. So that was I find fascinating also because the Jerry guitar player singer has to sound like Jerry. The Phil Lesh player, the bass player, has to sound like Phil Lesh, and the Bob Weird. So, and then the woman had, and then they had the two drummers, which were great. They just had to be like the band. I play music. I love music. I like to play. At the same time, I'm never going to do a Dead song sounding like the Dead. I'm going to play it like I'm going to play it. So I never understood that. Uh, I was actually asked to be in some. Uh, Anyways, I auditioned for some band. They wanted to play Mick Jagger, and I was like, I'm not Mick Jagger. I don't. I like Mick Jagger. He's like my Rolling Stones, my favorite band. I'm going to still sing it like I want to sing it. That's another point. So, um, never being a deadhead, I couldn't understand the whole scene around it because there's a lot of drugs and drinking, and I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I'm straight edge, and I love it that way. But the drugs and the alcohol were there, and people were still nice. But the niceness, everybody just being really, really nice to each other. That's what I find is missing out in the world. It's like being a part of, but anyone in the group was really taken care of. I felt very good there. I met a lot of nice people, maybe some new friends. Um, but the nostalgia, it was just a nostalgic moment. And I don't look backwards. I mean, I do love my music, what I like. I do love turning the Grateful Dead on sometimes because it is great music, especially I like the live shows. 'Cause I like live shows more than a lot of studio albums because there's an imperfection. It's like, what's going to happen? We're going to fly by the seat of our pants and see where it goes, which is always nice. Uh, it was odd though, I got to say, because everybody's standing the entire time, and then you have some people. There's seats. It's all general admission, so there's seats. You find a seat for yourself, and I sat around where all their people were, but no one's sitting the entire show. There's just they're up there dancing, and you have the people, you have the twirlers, and the different types of dances. And it's just, and some people, once they get there, they're dancing from the moment they get there till it ends, maybe not during the break. And I sat down quite a bit because it's a 3.5 hour show. I don't go to that many shows. Definitely, I don't go to big shows. I haven't done those in a long time. It just doesn't interest me. I really love doing other things and going, hearing someone else play. Although I do miss out on a lot of great music because of that. Anyways, I was really enjoying being in this situation because it was so ridiculous. And some of the people I were with were getting a little bit drunk towards the end. I drove them and I drove them back. They loved that I could be the designated driver, which is always fun. Um, I liked it. I had a business called High Vibe, and this was a high vibe experience. Actually, with the name High Vibe, people thought I'd be like, a stoner place where you could buy, marijuana or pot or whatever. And it's like, now we had vitamins and supplements and raw food. It was just it was far from hippie, but it was totally hippie because I had the crystals and the rocks. It was really fun to be around it. It just reminded me of like how really we need people getting together, living together and being around each other to share what's going on and be happy and not looking at the news, not thinking about Republican or Democrat or whatever it is. Just enjoying each other for what we love and separating the rest. Like the old days, you could do that. I could be totally different than you, and we would still get along because we'd have something to talk about, and we weren't so divisive, and we weren't separated because, oh, you think this, so I can't talk to you, which is really ridiculous. And music for me ties people together. We need more music. I like that kind of music or music from the past like that because there was an actual band playing. It wasn't just a solo artist where the musicians didn't matter behind them. They could have been anybody. It was truly a work of camaraderie and trying to get the best sound possible for that night or for that day or for that record. And I feel like we're missing a lot of that right now. But in the pop, think about it, the Grateful Dead really never had any pop hits, but they are one of the greatest, biggest bands of all times. My next video I'm going to be talking about, in the affiliate links, I've got a bunch of things for dead related, music related, book related. So check my links out. So be doing on a book called The Talent Code and the Little Book of Talent. And it's about learning how to be a better teacher, a better coach, and also how to be a better student. And I was thinking about John Mayer, the great guitar player. He spent like 8 or 9 months. I was listening to an interview with him, studying the Dead and studying Jerry Garcia's music and their sound. And he studied it for 8, 9 months, whatever it was. Wasn't planning on I don't think he was ever planning on being in a band with Bob Weir. But he did that, and then he ends up in this band with Bob Weir, and they're playing years together. They're continuing the tradition, and he's nailed it. He's got it really great. And he said that time I spent studying Jerry was incredible. He had no idea how it was going to pay off, but he did it, and it paid off really well for him. And then it was great that he and Bob Weir had this incredible relationship. They also had the same birthday, which is pretty cool. And they can continue it. So it was sort of sad when Bob died. It happens, We're getting older. That's the other thing. I'm looking at everybody, and we're all getting older. And every time I turn around, someone I know is getting ill or sick, or like a friend of mine's brother's in the hospital right now with something in his gut, So it made me realize also, like being a part of this crowd, being alive, still feeling like we're 15, because basically I'm still like a 15-year-old. I'm sure many of you out there are too. I know this is a lot of retired people seeing my channel and stuff. I'm retired, but I'm not dead. I've got a lot to do. I know you guys can understand that. Now I've got the time to do it, and it's really interesting and really fun. With that, that's it for today, bad boys, bad girls. Be kind to people. Be really nice. It's really needed. I'll see you next time.